Hi, Ritik. This is Brennan from. I'm just calling to check in. You filled out our Facebook form on the 17th yesterday, and with interest in. So I was just wondering if we could get in contact and talk a little bit about what you'd like to get done. So you can call or text back this number anytime. Appreciate it. Thanks. Hello? Hi, is this Emmanuel? Hi, this is Brennan from. I noticed that you clicked on our Facebook forum yesterday with interest in.
No, but my brother does. He has a 2021 Toyota Camry XC.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and he wanted to wrap like the roof
He wants a
with
roof.
some ceramic glass.
So you want it? Sorry, you want?
Like, have you seen like the glossy wrap?
Yeah, so more of like a.
Yeah,
And you want it what color? Black.
yeah, it's black.
Okay, I gotcha.
I mean
Gloss.
the wrap. He wanted black, but the story is silver. Yeah.
Perfect. And then just a few questions. What kind of timeline are you looking at with getting that done? What kind of time did you want to get that uh done?
Well, I haven't talked to him at all about any time he wants to wrap the car, but
Gotcha.
he does want it done. He does want the job done. So I just need to talk to him, and well, we can work out a day.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So what we can do is I can send you some material online that you can look at. Um, so you can get the right kind of finish that you're looking for, and then also look at a specific price point when you're looking at ordering material cost, and then we can go from there. So I do work with a few different companies. I work with. So that's like pretty much industry standard when it comes. So they're a little bit on the higher end of the price point. And then I also work with a company called, and they have a little bit lower price point. They have very, very similar quality. And so I can send you both of those links to kind of look at and see what colors you're looking for.
Yeah,
And then you can talk to your brother and then get back to me on what you're looking at.
sounds good. And what's the difference between the
So I don't work with industry standard when it comes to material.
oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So it's those are pretty much like the number one when it comes to. And then I also work with another company, and they're a little bit on the lower price end because they.
Oh, so that's even better.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes it a little cheaper for you if you were looking to do that. They do have a bit of a limited. Shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just the top that he wants done.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll send you both of those links today. And then should I follow up with you tomorrow or within the next couple of days to see kind of where you're at?
That'll be great. On Monday, you got time. I mean, I have to school today, and I gotta work all weekend. And so yeah, Monday, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. Okay, cool. So I'll send you those right away. You could take a look, and then I'll follow up with you on Monday. Is there a better time that you're available on Monday?
I get out of school at 3:45, so probably like at 4.
Okay. Perfect. 4 p.m. on Monday. Okay. Sounds good. So I'll follow back up on Monday at 4 p.m.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for picking up the call, Emmanuel.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Bye. All right, so this video might not be as coherent as I'd like it to be for my first video, but that's fine. So I guess I'll start with an introduction if you definitely don't know me because it's my very first video, like I said. But my name is Brendan Marlowe. Currently running a marketing agency at the very beginning stages of it. I have one client, um, and I'm gonna use this channel to document my journey and to keep me on track a little bit, to help me gain a little bit of accountability. Um, so I don't really have an agenda for this video. I'm just going to show you kind of what my day looks like and kind of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, so I'm just going to show you my screen real quick. Gonna hide this, and so I'm not going to show everything because a lot of people in the space give away a lot, and I think it can convolute the idea of what it is to actually start and own a business. It's a lot harder than just looking online and like you see what works for this person, and now everyone starts doing that one thing. And I don't really think it's about saturation as much as it's about like integrity of intellectual property and ideas, and like nobody's really original and thinking for themselves. And of course there's some that you have to learn online from other people, and I've done that a lot. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, but I think I think some of the broader scale or some of the larger scale in-depth tutorials, or however you want to call it, can sometimes encourage people to not really think for themselves. So I don't really want to do all of that, but I will show a little bit of what it looks like day to day. So a little bit of what I'm working on. So this is my client right now. I'm probably going to blur most of this out, but this is Notion. If you don't know, it's basically a better Microsoft OneNote. It's like a way better interface. It's a lot easier to organize things and look around. I'm not very organized. That's one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is just starting out, you're not going to be very organized, and I can tell you firsthand that it takes a long time to become organized. And that's just because you're figuring so much shit out in the first year, 2 years of starting your business that you don't really have the time or the organizational skills to map everything out step by step, which just takes a lot of time. But anyways, so I have a few different channels that I use to, put down notes, put down objectives, communicate with my client. So I'm using Notion to basically put down the framework of what's going on. So I'm going to blur out the niche here and probably most of this, but this basically tells me a little bit about, what the framework is for this client. And then I also have like an onboarding tab that I use that I'm going to be using for every client. Right now I'm not so much focused on outreach because I'm still focused on service delivery for my client, making sure that, I'm able to outreach and start getting more clients effectively, because I don't want to start getting meetings and signing people and then not doing the best work that I know I can do. So that's why I want to focus on, creating a really, really good service. So yeah, like I said, this video is going to be very all over the place, but I'm just showing you a little bit about what it looks like. Like, all over the place is kind of what it looks like. I try and schedule my days on this planner that I use. If you want to get this planner, it's a really nice planner. It's called the High Performance Planner, and it's based on a book called The High Performance Habits. I can't remember who the author is, but that's a really, really good book I would read, and it talks about like the key performance indicators of what it means to be a high performance person. And here's a little bit of what the planner looks like. So it just kind of helps me structure my day and get me started in the morning with my mindset and my routine. So yeah, that's kind of that. And then I have this notebook, which is currently in front of me, that I just write down ideas and things I need to keep track of. Right now, I was writing down a bunch of my signatures so I could get a good copy for an e-signature when I signed my first contract with my client. But yeah, so I use this notebook a lot, and I use that planner, like I said, every day to just structure my day and help me stay as organized as I can be. So that's that. The other thing I use is Slack, which I'm trying out. I'm currently in the free trial. And I have, like I said, I'll have a channel for every client. But since I'm on the free trial, I had to add my client as essentially an employee of mine, because it doesn't let me add people outside my organization unless I pay for the service. And I don't know if I want to pay for the service because I'm doing everything on a budget. So yeah. So I guess we'll kind of segue and talk about how I'm setting up this first client. So he's paying me complete commission on results. I have no guarantee with him because he's my first client. We're partnering. So the incentive to work with me was essentially that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get you more clients, and I have the systems in place to do so. But the reason we're partnering and he's not just paying me a flat rate is because it's my first client. I've never done it before. There can't be a guarantee because I've never done it before. So there was a lot of like, my skills were in question, my integrity was in question. But yeah, we started this about a little over a month ago, and it's going pretty well actually. I have around 21,000 in his sales pipeline. No one's closed yet just because of the nature of his business. The sales process takes a really long time, but there's like 3 people that are on the cusp of being closed, like very, very, very close, like today or within this week. We both agree that like they're most likely getting closed. The other thing that I want to mention is that I'm currently paying my clients ad spend, which I don't necessarily recommend everyone to do, but he wasn't really comfortable paying for ad spend in the first place, and I really just needed a client. So I took a gamble on myself, and I'm happy with where things are at. Obviously, I haven't been paid yet, but with what things are looking like, I'm working every day really hard to get people in. I'm making sales calls. um, with his customers, obviously. Just yeah. So we're close. Obviously, if you're in this space, you know what Go High Level is, and that's the software that I use to follow up with all of his customers. It's a really, really robust CRM, which I would suggest to anyone who's starting this agency model. And if you don't know what that is, you probably have not looked up enough YouTube videos about um, this this business model, because it's pretty much comes out of every YouTuber's mouth that talks about this space. So, yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is kind of who in the online space really keeps me accountable and keeps me growing. Um, and I think has led me to get ahead of a lot of other business owners, and will let me stay ahead and continue to keep growing. And that's definitely Charlie Morgan in the space. He's incredible. He is really, really, really smart. And a lot of his lectures are based on psychology, so it's really interesting to learn about. And it's very, very applicable to sales skills, to mindset, to learning. You pretty much can learn how to learn, which is really, really important in something like this, because I think a lot of the times people think that free education, like on YouTube, it's not commoditized, but it's looked at as like you can learn any skill on YouTube, which is technically true, but there is so much more that goes into actually learning and doing, that just looking at free YouTube videos won't help you. Like, there's so much work that has to be done on your end. I think a good example of this is those YouTubers who say, steal my email copy and you'll get this amount of replies, or boost your conversion rate by using this sales script. And so people will copy and paste and literally do no other research about how, like, the psychology behind why those sales tactics work, or behind why certain ad copy or certain email copy works. And if you don't have those building blocks, then all you're going to be doing is looking to copy off of other people, and you're always going to be too late to the game, because it's already been done if you're copying it. And if it's out on the internet, thousands of other people are already doing it, which goes to the idea of saturation again, like I said. But I don't know. These videos are going to be very unorganized, like I said. I think, I don't know if anyone's watched the podcast, Diagravia's CEO, but I really like how he structured them in the beginning. I started watching episode 1, which was like 5-6 years ago, maybe even more. And it was very much free form, like exactly kind of what I'm doing right now. I have zero script, and this is the first time I'm doing this, so it's a little bit difficult to think about what comes next. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to give away too much. I just want to give away ideas and share my progress to keep me accountable. Yeah. If you don't have Go High Level, I suggest you get it. And if you want to support me, you can click my affiliate link, and then you get a 14-day free trial. So, yeah, I feel like I definitely did some copy and pasting right there, but I don't really know how else to say that except use my affiliate link and get 14 days free trial on High Level. You can cancel anytime with no fees. So I suggest you do that. That's what I did. I used someone's affiliate link for 14 days. It was free. I set up everything in 14 days for my client. Didn't pay a dime. Once that 14 days was rolling, or at the end of that 14 days, I paid. But I was already starting to get leads in. I was already starting to structure sales calls. So, in my opinion, it pays for itself if you do the work. There's no guarantees in life except for death. But if you put in the work, you definitely have a leg up. So, that's the other thing that I want to talk about is putting in the work and how much of that work is learning, and then also in spite of the fear of doing, you have to do. So, yeah, I'm kind of struggling with sometimes my day to day. I don't have a lot of clarity on what to do for that day, but I keep pushing forward with the things that I need to do, like the daily tasks that I need to do for my client, the sales calls I need to do. Other than that, I'm really trying. I'm always looking ahead. And so I've been thinking about, how am I going to scale this? What am I going to do next to bring on more clients? What am I going to do to replace the work that I'm doing with other people or software or AI? What can I do to work more on my business and not in my business? But I think the idea there is work as much as you possibly can with the clients you have until you can't do any more to sign more clients. So if I have 2 clients and I'm working 12, 14 hours a day collectively for each client, I probably can't sign 3 clients without hiring out the work that I'm doing. But until you get to that point, I think you should do everything yourself because you learn so much more about the inner workings of your business and what it actually means to be a business owner. And I think so many people are, you want to be in it for the end goal, of course. But it's not, I think a lot of quote-unquote entrepreneurs go into business for selfish reasons. And I think that's okay to start with. I don't think there's anything wrong with that to start out because you don't really realize exactly why you feel the way that you do about business and about money and about life in general, like creating the life that you want. You don't really understand until you dive into it. And it takes a long time to realize that. And I think at first I wanted to start this business because at the very, very beginning, it was a shiny object. Like, it was a thing where I was like, oh, I can make a ton of money. This seems super easy. And then the more research you do, the more you realize how much harder it is. But the other thing is, the more research I did, and the more I told myself that I can't do anything other than this business model, the more I realized that there's no turning back at this point because I've learned too much, essentially. I've learned too much to not continue and go forward. I have too much knowledge, not too much. There's so much more to learn. But I have too much knowledge to not continue. Essentially, I'm at a point where if I knew so much more or so much less, and I set up so much less, and I did so much less work, then I might be where I was 8 months ago or a year ago where I just moved from one thing to the next thing because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. I'm only 18. I graduate in a month. But now I know. And I think creating something from scratch tells you a lot about yourself. It tells you, number one, if you can do the thing that you're trying to do, of course, but it also tells you if you're in the right space. Like, does it even make sense for you to be an entrepreneur? Or do you want to just do it for those selfish reasons? And I think at first, like I said, it was for those selfish reasons, and then I grew up a little. There's still more growing to do, still more learning to do, but I grew up a little bit more, and I realized how much work it actually takes, and then I also realized that I'm okay with working every day, really long hours, working really, really hard, because it's not necessarily about the money. It's more about what I want from my life. I want to be in complete control of my life, and I want to have started something impactful that impacts other people. And working with other business owners gives me a very, very clear path to do that. So that's what I realized after doing this, after starting this. And who knew? Going into it, of course, I didn't know at all that this was what I wanted to do this for. But now I have so much more clarity on that, which makes me want to push harder, work longer, and continue what I'm doing well and cut out what's not working. So, yeah, those are the unorganized thoughts of a primal of a newbie starting business owner. Very unorganized. I'm just rambling at this point, but my goal with these videos is that someone gets some value out of this. Whether that is someone in the space that I'm in or a new business owner of any sort of caliber, or someone who just wants to look for a reason to do something different in life. Look for a reason to take control and do something impactful and meaningful that's greater than your personal wants and needs. Cool. That's the antithesis of the video. Alright. I have no idea when I'm going to upload next, but hopefully it's going to be soon. And I'm going to try and stay consistent with this. So I hope someone watches this. I have no idea where this is going to go, but I hope someone watches this. And if you did and you enjoyed it, subscribe or something. Maybe like the video. Click on the affiliate link if you want to get started with Go High Level. And that's all. My name's Brendan Marlowe. See ya.